तो चलिए अब हम इसे लिखते हैं 90 वर्ड्स पर मिनट की स्पीड पर। 1 2 3 स्टार्ट। Inflation is threatening to destroy our society. Stop. It is threatening to destroy not just the relative prosperity to which most of us have become accustomed, but the savings and plans of each person and family and the working capital of each business and other organization. Stop. The distress and unemployment that will follow unless the trend is stopped will be catastrophic. Stop. There is a risk, moreover, that political parties which preside with well intentioned ineffectiveness over such a universal frustration of expectations will pave the way for those who will offer solutions at the cost of freedoms. Stop para. It is happened elsewhere. Stop para. It could happen here. Stop. Our proud achievements, our great history, our still superb national talents do not render us immune to the processes of despair and disintegration which ultimately invite dictatorship. Stop para. Our fate lies in our own hands. Stop. If we recognize the nightmares which galloping inflation brings, we can abate it. Stop. It is a question of priorities. Stop. Mr. Heath and Mr. Kerr and all of us say that inflation is the most important issue before the country. Stop. We say this not only because inflation destroys jobs by destroying employers, not only because it savages the vast majority of our population in their savings and plans, but also because all other social and economic objectives will be lost unless inflation is abated. Stop. Growth, social peace, full employment, regional balance, social services. No one of these aims can be sustained if inflation is allowed to continue at its present or anything like its present pace. Stop para. But you may ask, if inflation is so pernicious, why was it allowed to get a grip in the first place? Question mark. Why did successive governments for the last score years, led by well-intentioned and intelligent people, advised by conscientious officials and economists, take a course which led inexorably and predictably to the present nightmare? Question mark. I say predictably because there were warnings as far back as 1950 charting with painful accuracy the course on which the country embarked. Stop para. Political and economic historians will pronounce in due course. Stop. As a participant in the process, I may lack their perspective. Stop. But at least I know how things seemed to us, why we acted as we did, and with the vision of hindsight, where we went astray. Stop. So, as a participant, retracing my steps seems the best introduction to the problem. Stop para. I begin by accepting my full share of the collective responsibility. Stop. It is not right for government to claim credit for what goes well unless they accept their share of the blame for what goes badly. Stop. For over the past 30 years, governments in this country have had unprecedented power over economic life. Stop. It is only fair that we should accept correspondingly heightened responsibility for what has gone wrong. Stop para. In retrospect, it seems to me that inflation is largely a self-inflicted wound. Stop. I once believed that much of our inflation, particularly recently, was a product of rocketing world prices and they certainly made things much more difficult, but they are not the dominant cause. Stop. In general terms, you could say that inflation is the result of trying to do too much too quickly. Stop. In more specifically economic terms, our inflation has been the result of the creation of new money and the consequent deficit financing out of proportion to the additional goods and services available. Stop. Para. When the money supply grows too quickly, inflation results. Stop. This has been known for centuries. Stop. Until a few years ago, I should not have had to labor the point. Stop. Now, an influential group in Whitehall, Cambridge, and the National Institute of Economic and Social Research seem to deny the proposition. Stop. I had understood that the laws of supply and demand are basic economic truths. Stop. Para. Certainly, Maynard Keynes recognized that excessive creation of money is inflationary. Stop. Para. I should here emphasize that changes in the relationship between demand and supply do not instantly affect prices and employment. Stop. There is a time lag of many months or even as much as a year or two. Stop. Para. It has always been known that to create too much money, excess aggregate demand is what the economists call it, is to quote the danger of inflation. Stop. But government after government chose to take the risk for several in themselves not ignoble reasons. Stop. The assumptions were probably always the same, that the inflation would only be mild, that it could be stopped, and above all, that mild inflation seemed a painless way of maintaining full employment, encouraging growth, and expanding the social services, all highly desired objectives. Stop. We see now that inflation has turned out to be a mortal threat to all three. Stop. In this speech, I am concentrating on employment. Stop. I shall discuss growth on another occasion. Stop. Para. It was feared that the apparently high levels of unemployment and the low rate of growth which resulted whenever sound money policies were essayed would create intolerable social and political tensions. Stop. Experience has shown that far more menacing tensions are generated by inflation itself, and that in circumstances of excess demand they cannot be cured by incomes policy. Stop. Para. With the wisdom of hindsight, and if we do not all have the wisdom of foresight, let us at least have the wisdom of hindsight. I now see that any effective incomes policy must be based on sustaining the overall balance between demand and supply. Stop. But this I mean demand for and supply of goods and services at a level of full employment which can be sustained. Stop. If supply and demand are not in balance, if money is being pumped into the economy at a faster rate than the growth of goods and services, no incomes policy can conceivably mitigate inflation, let alone prevent it. Stop. Para. Even if the administrative and political power of government can hold down wages in some sectors, inflation will emerge with redoubled force in other sectors less susceptible to control. Stop. We have seen the process at work, some wages controlled in bracket with difficulties and distortions, while house prices, interest rates, and pay which cannot be controlled of the people like building workers, secretaries, engineers on peace rates, all rocket stop. Let us not forget the understandable outrage and the widespread resentment at the soaring rise of property values, a byproduct of inflation felt by those whose income was held down. Stop. The property values have since been eroded, but the resentment remains. Stop.